that just happened or is going to happen, or just we're talking about games last night. But hypotheticals are interesting because I do think this is what general managers think about. I think it's what owners think about. I think it's what really smart players think about. What if? So I'm going to throw a scenario at you. Buffalo hosts Miami Sunday. Buffalo's a better team. What if Tua struggles? Tua gets benched the third time. Miami misses the playoffs. And tomorrow's headlines today is not Tua impressive. What does Miami do with the number 3 pick now from Houston? I want you to think about this. Their defense is great. The number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. Their special teams are fantastic. How many block punts? Excellent kicker. Their head coach, we know the coaching's great, and the development, I think, on the offensive line, Austin Jackson, I never thought he would be this good as a rookie out of USC. So the defense, the special teams, coaching, great. All that's missing a quarterback, and it ain't Ryan Fitzpatrick is the answer. If you have the number 3 pick, Justin Fields is available, Zach Wilson, BYU. They're bigger, look like they're stronger than Tua, more athletic than Tua, certainly more athletic. Now just think about this. Miami will never, under Brian Flores, have a top 3 pick again, ever. He's just too good. Miami has 2 firsts and 2 seconds. They got picks to play with. They can roll the dice on one of these picks. Also, another team, Tua was graded higher than Justin Herbert for almost every team, and he has not been a disaster. He's got 10 TDs, 2 picks, passer ratings low 90s, 65%. It's not a disaster. Somebody would trade for Tua. Somebody absolutely would say, I'm going to take the kid. He's still, every GM in this league, almost everyone had him graded higher than Justin Herbert. But the thing is, when you watch Burrow and Justin Herbert, they've been asked to carry not very good teams. Tua has been asked to just manage what appears to be potentially a very good team. Look at his yards per game. It's last in the NFL among qualified starters. Herbert averages almost 300 yards a game passing. Joe Burrow almost 270. Tua is at 160. And by the way, when he played a good Rams defense, he threw for 93 yards. When he played the Chiefs, he was 28 for 48. He's fine managing the game. But every time Miami's asked him to do more and win a game, that's not really what he can do. And so what if he struggles? And by the way, not just struggles. Josh Allen looks bigger and stronger and more mobile and more dynamic. I've always said it's like the brother issue. It's one thing if your brother's more successful than you and lives in another state, but what if he's your neighbor and he comes home with another Lexus every 2 years and the house is bigger and the yard's landscaped? That's a little more painful. If Josh and Tua are playing Sunday and Allen looks great and big and strong and mobile and that arm, and Tua gets benched again, Miami will never have another top 3 pick. Just a thought. What if he's not Tua impressive? What would you do? You tell me. It's called Twitter. Check it out today. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
The Eagles host Washington in their season finale Sunday. And while Philly has been eliminated from the playoffs, so they really don't have anything to play for, Washington is still playing for the NFC East title. If they win the NFC East. And Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz says he is planning on spoiling their night.
We got to have a no-hat rule this week. We can't let opponents put division win hats on at the link. And there's a lot of pride in that, and all our focus has to be to accomplishing that this week.
I do like Philadelphia Sunday. I really do. I get Jalen Hurts. He's working his way through it, but I think it's really, Philadelphia is a very prideful city and a very prideful organization. And by the way, we've seen this happen during the last 2 or 3 weeks. We see these teams playing for nothing, playing these teams playing for everything.
San Francisco was incredible.
Against Arizona.
Yeah.
We're seeing teams playing for nothing, and all this stuff's on tape for the following year and the next coaching staff.
No,
so
every time you step on the field, you're putting tape out for your next job. You might be putting tape out for your current job at your current organization.
I like Philadelphia in this game.
I also like Philadelphia because, no disrespect, but Taylor Heineke is getting the start this week.
Yeah.
And, Washington's defense is great, but
you got to score points.
You have to score points.
Some. And by the way, Philadelphia is moving the ball with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So they're going to have at home, moving the ball, third, fourth game as a starter. Yep.
So if Washington loses, the winner of the Cowboys-Giants game will win the division. This division has been terrible all year, and we've made fun of it, and there's been a lot of injuries, and every team has played with a backup quarterback at some point.
God.
But it is kind of fun.
Oh, no.
The four teams are still in the running.
I'll tell you what, Cowboys-Giants.
It's a playoff game.
It's one of my favorite games of the weekend. Because as long as Daniel Jones plays, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch it.
It's going to be such a fun Sunday. So the Bills are locked into the playoffs and can't fall lower than the 3 seed. The other top teams in the AFC, the Chiefs and Steelers, have said they will give some key players rest in Week 17. Ben Roethlisberger is not getting the start for the Steelers.
Right.
It's going to be Mason Rudolph. But Sean McDermott is not giving away his plan for the Bills. He said he knows what he is going to do in Sunday's game, but he is keeping the plan internal. So he's being stingy, which for us gambling folk is not very kind. But
how about Kansas City and Buffalo start Mahomes and Allen for a quarter? They don't give them a week off. They're at practice. They give them some reps, and then they sit them down. Lead or trail, they sit them down.
I like that plan. I don't like the idea of the quarterback, or maybe you give your running back a little more rest. That makes sense.
Dinged up linebacker, dinged up.
Anyone who has a lingering injury should be getting rest in this game. If you're the Bills or the Steelers or the Chiefs, but as far as the quarterbacks go, I don't. It depends on how the game is going. But I think they're going to get rest because neither one of these teams can fall below the 3 seed. Bills are currently the AFC's 2 seed, and if the Steelers beat the Browns and Buffalo loses to Miami, they could fall to the 3. And the Dolphins would lock up the 5 seed with a win, no matter what the remaining AFC wildcard teams do. And the Titans, Ravens, Browns, and Colts will be fighting for the remaining spots. The Colts are the odd team out if these 4 teams either all win or all lose. So Aaron Rodgers is starting to pull away in the MVP race. He previously said that winning his 3rd MVP would mean a lot to him, and he defended his feelings about the award yesterday on the Pat McAfee Show.
Anyone who says that stuff's not important to them is just a robot who probably not someone that you or I would want to spend time with, because I don't know why people would shy away from just sharing their feelings on that.
Yeah, I just don't think it lasts that long. But you want to win a Grammy or an Emmy or an MVP. Everybody, come on. Of course you would.
No, he's absolutely right. Anyone who says they don't care about that, either A, have no chance of ever winning it.
That's right.
Or are just lying to you. It's human nature. You're the best. It's essentially saying you're the best player, the most important player in the league in an extremely competitive space. Yes, of course you care about winning that. Now, is it your main motivation? Probably not. I would say that most of the candidates for MVP or guys who win MVPs, they would tell you they would gladly trade all those MVPs for another Super Bowl in a second. Now, the conversation about, would you trade the Hall of Fame for a Super Bowl, maybe that's a little bit more nuanced. But these are important to win. And if you're Aaron Rodgers is extremely competitive, this matters.
You see these books and these blogs, they write books on how to be successful. The only common thread in my life with successful people, regardless of the industry, they're competitive.
Yeah.
I tell my daughter all the time, it's like, you can be a lot of things. Be willing to compete. If success matters to you professionally, because somebody's gonna want the brass ring, and you're not the only one. So some people don't like competing. They don't like. Half the kids quit sports by 8 years old.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're confused as to why you haven't achieved something, success and complacency don't generally go hand in hand.
They don't, unless you win the lottery and then you blow it on jet skis and speedboats.
You still have to make the effort of going and get the lottery ticket, I guess. But yeah, he's absolutely right. They're a robot if they're saying they don't care about it. Brett Favre won 3 MVPs, so he's competing within his own organization with the Super Bowl and getting a 3rd MVP. So all this stuff does matter. And I like that Aaron Rodgers is doing this. Where is he, by the way? It's freezing in Green Bay.
It's